Oh hey, what's going on, Homestead homies? I'm out here in the hay barn here. I'm moving some straw and some hay around. I like to work and keep moving everything from the back kind of up forward. We feed out of this door over here behind you, and then we also on this door over here. So I just like to kind of keep rotating everything up front, and then I kind of pick through the hay bales. The stuff that looks a little richer, a little greener, I'll set that aside for the sheep because they're feeding babies and all that stuff. I want them to get the most nutrition that they can. And then, you know, the stuff that looks a little less nutritious, not that it is, but, you know, just has a little drier look, I'll give that to the horses because they're just fine on it. So, yeah, I think Stacy's inside right now and she's making some kombucha. If you guys don't know what kombucha is, you might want to look into it. One thing we talk about a lot here is your health. And one of the best ways to be healthy is to work on the gut bacteria, okay? So your yogurts, your kombucha, your kefirs, stuff like this, if you just look it up, you'll find out a lot of information about it. But we recommend that a lot. If you watch our channel, you hear us talking about it all the time, and we always have it. Every day we incorporate it into our diet, and that is one of the things, you know, the strong blocks that we use to maintain health on the homestead. Inside right now, we'll see what Stacy has going on, and we'll try to teach you guys a little bit more about kombucha.
Oh, hey guys, I'm getting ready to do some kombucha, so why don't you come on over. We have been getting lots and lots of questions on kombucha, and I just kind of wanted to go over how wonderful it is for you because it is a fermented food and it's good for your gut health, and your health starts in your gut. Hippocrates always said that, so I truly believe that. And I wanted to talk about everyone talking about fluoride in the kombucha and how people are saying don't drink it, don't drink it. But think about this. Do you drink tea? Do you drink iced tea, sweet tea? I mean, people drink tea all over the world. Green tea, all these kind of teas. Especially instant tea and bottled tea that you get at the quick shop or the stores. Those are really high in fluoride. That's what's really high in fluoride. And when you overdo anything, you're going to get a lot of fluoride. So I'm just going to kind of talk to you a little bit about ways you can kind of get around that and just to make your regular tea that you're drinking and your kombucha the healthiest as you can get. And just like anything else, guys, do your research on it and you make your own decisions. From all the research that I've done and how I prepare my kombucha, I find for Doug and I that this is a good way for us to get some, you know, good things for our body. And this is what I choose to do, but do your research. All right, so I wanted to show you some of the things when your tea is growing, green teas, black teas, it pulls fluoride up from the soil into its leaves. So that's where the fluoride comes from. If you're going to use conventionally raised type teas, you know, your basic brands that you see, you know, like Lipton's and all those, if they're not organic, they're still going to be pulling, you know, the fluoridated water up into the leaves too, along with what you get naturally from the soil, because there is fluoride in the soil. So if you're going to brew your tea, without a doubt, especially any tea that you're going to be ingesting, I would highly recommend that you use organic tea. All right. I want to show you what I have done. There is a tea which is white tea. It's the youngest of the teas. You use the little buds. It's very young and fresh, and it doesn't hardly pull up any fluoride. Another option could be using an herbal tea like Robois, which is the red teas, and it makes a good kombucha too. So what I wanted to do is I like to kind of play around and find a flavor that I like. If you're sensitive to caffeine like I am, I cannot do a whole tea full of black tea. So like on my full gallon of tea when I make it, I use 6 bags. I cannot do 6 bags or I get really jittery. So what I might do is put 1 bag or 2 bags, and then I'll put maybe 4 bags of green tea and I'll mix it. I've been lately doing more with white tea. It's a very mild flavor. This one here I did all white tea, but you're going to notice the fermentation isn't quite as good. I find the SCOBY here. I want you to look. This is from a strictly black, like half and half. Like when I did more black in it, it's much thicker, and I think it ferments better. Now look at this one. Here is just is all white tea, and this has been like 8 days. And it's not that big. And normally it would get a lot more. So it ferments better with having the black tea in it. So what I'm going to do here, this was all white. It still tastes good, but I always like to at least put one black tea bag when I'm making it. So you guys can try to mix and match whatever flavors that are good for you and the taste that you like, which is really unique. I know you cannot use a flavored tea because it's not going to taste like, if you put a peach tea in there, it's not going to taste like peach tea when it's done. So just make sure, just get your plain. You can find organic teas in bulks all over the place, and it's very inexpensive, but I would totally recommend. And watch out for the tea bags. You want the unbleached type tea bags, or let me see if I got here. Use the loose leaf. That's going to be your best, because you don't know a lot of times if you're not sure how they're making the tea bag. You can call the company and find out. They put chemicals in those too. So you can use a tea ball and use loose leaf tea and put that in there while you're brewing it. And here's another one to help with the fluoride. Don't let it steep. When you're pouring your water in there, you don't want to let it steep very long. So, maybe just a few minutes. I wouldn't do it more than 10 minutes or so. So I took my SCOBY off. I'm going ahead and I'm putting my kombucha in here, and then I'm going to get ready to make just a half gallon here of my tea. And then today, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do half black and half white tea. So, and then that did help, like I was saying earlier about not letting it brew or sit or steep too long. Because if you do that, then, the fluoride can go in there. And make sure, like anything, guys, don't overdo it. You don't want to drink, 3 of these a day. One's fine. And if you're a child, definitely, just a few ounces is all you need. You don't need a whole lot, because it's very detoxifying and cleansing in the liver. All right, so I'm getting ready to brew my tea. I'm going to do 2 white tea bags, and then I'm going to do 1 black, because my half gallon takes 3, and then my full gallon takes 6. And then here's your other magic ingredient to start fermentation is your sugar. Now, you need to be careful on the kind of sugar you use. You want to use a sugar that is a organic cane sugar. Cane sugar cannot be genetically modified. However, a lot of other, if you read it, it might say sugar, but it doesn't say cane sugar, and then it is sweetened by beet juice. So you don't want those GMO beets, because 95% of those sugar beets are GMO'd. So be careful. Like C&H sugar is a non-GMO because it's cane sugar. So you want to look at what it is. Cane sugar cannot be. So if you're getting cane sugar, you're okay. Always go organic and you'll be fine. So I'm putting a half a cup for my half gallon. It's easy to remember. Half a cup for a half gallon, full cup for a whole gallon. Okay? And then I went ahead and I boiled my water, and then you want to let your water sit out just a little bit, because if you put too hot of water on it, you're going to have bitter tea bags. So I let it set, and then I'm just going to fill it up and let it cool to room temperature. And then once it cools to room temperature, I'm going to go ahead and put the juice and the SCOBY in and let it ferment. Now remember, trying to get rid of some of the fluoride that you're going to get in it naturally is take the tea bag out. We're going to let it sit here and steep in the hot water for about, 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes. And then I'm going to take the tea bags out, let it cool. All right, so my tea has cooled to room temperature, and I'm going to get ready to put the SCOBY in it. Now, just kind of go over, we were talking about how earlier kombucha is very detoxifying. It's very good on the kidneys and liver because it detoxifies. And I'm going to pour that in there with some of the juice. And it has a lot of B vitamins in it, and it has something called glucuronic acid. And glucuronic acid is what helps to detoxify, and it helps to remove the toxins from like your liver and kidneys. So that's why, some people have allergic reactions sometimes when they do it because of the detoxifying properties of it. So, maybe you notice that if you drank a full bottle and it was too much for you, maybe just start with a few little sips, every couple days and build yourself up to it. Some people have it, some people don't have any. That was just a little note. But I want you guys, you can find a lot of information on fluoride, on eating healthy foods, whole foods from the WestonAPriceFoundation.org. I can't recommend enough. It's a great website. So the link is below. So I want you guys to just check that out, thewestinaprice.org. So check that out. They did a study on the fluoride that found that by using the organic teas on how much less the fluoride was. But no matter if you're drinking kombucha, if you are drinking regular tea, you know, look where it's sourced from, where it's from. So organic, I highly, highly recommend you guys doing that. Going and using white tea is going to be your lowest. Rooibos tea does not, it does have a little caffeine in it. And I think I might have said it was herbal, but it does have a little bit of caffeine. And your green tea and your black teas. Try different variations of it. Make sure that you ferment this. Put it in a dark place for at least 7 to 10 days. You're going to get your highest amount of the glucuronic acid after 8 days. So anywhere in between there, it's good. You don't want to do it before. You don't want it to taste like sugar. It should have a little bit of a bite to it and a little fizziness. And you're going to get the fizziness when you take these, and you're going to let them set out 1 to 2 days at room temperature, and then you put it in the refrigerator. I know a lot of people go ahead right now when they bottle it, they may put a little bit of juice in there. You can put like fizzy water in there, carbonated water if you want, if it gets maybe too vinegary, if it's been sitting out too long. Because the longer it's going to ferment, it's going to taste more like vinegar. And it's healthier for you, but if you can it's more palatable, you know, I don't know. If you like it, then you can drink it. It is good for you. But you don't want it to taste like sugar. So just let it set out a day or two, put it in the refrigerator. Some people sweeten it. I just choose to drink it like this. I think it tastes great. So it's your choice. You're going to put this away, and then I'm going to put this in the refrigerator in a day or two, and then enjoy it. So check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. As always, this whole year, January through December, we're having a Homestead of the Homie month. We're having that and a contest. So if you guys want to be entered in on that, go ahead and share our videos. Tell people, you know, be the town crier. Just, you know, do what you can to be a Homestead homie. And we have this really cool cast iron clock from Layman's, battery operated, which is totally cool, that we're going to give to each Homestead homie every month for being the Homestead of the Homie month person. So this is I'm with DOUG and STACY. I'm Stacy, and I will see you guys later. Bye. And this is for all you Homestead homies that stuck to the end, because I know that you guys are the true Homestead homies. You stay to the end. Look at my SCOBY here. I'm going to use my fingers because I'm going to get rid of it. When it gets kind of dark and gets really thick, then you want to switch it out, you know, and use a fresher one. And usually there's the ones you might want to give to your chickens. Chop them up and give them to the chickens. But when they get too big, the kombucha isn't quite as good. So I always like to, you can go ahead and get a younger one. But when you get your SCOBY, generally, this one's kind of pretty big, but when you separate them, I'm not going to be able to get this one, it's too thick. But yeah, here it is. So you're going to separate them, and once it's separated, this one's on there, good. Then you're going to want to put it in a jar, just like that, and then you're going to put some juice in there to save it for another time. So you use one in your container that you just made, like I just put mine in my one, and then here you'll put the other one, okay? Some people just go and choose to give it to their chickens. But once it gets too big, don't you know, some people I see have a big, huge one. I don't think it tastes as good. I like to have a fresher one. So once it gets to be about this size for me, I switch off and use the younger one. All right, that was your bonus little thing. See you guys later.